Picture this. You're standing on a beach, looking out at the ocean, millions of gallons of water sitting on top of sand. Sand that acts like a sponge. Sand that water drains right through when you pour it at the beach. So why isn't the ocean just disappearing into the ground beneath it? Why hasn't every drop already drained away? Think about it. You can't keep water in a bucket made of sand. It leaks out in seconds. Yet somehow, trillions of gallons of seawater are sitting perfectly still on top of the biggest sand pile on Earth. That doesn't make sense. And by the way, if questions like this keep you up at night, hit that subscribe button, drop your burning questions in the comments, and I'll answer them in the next video. Here's what's actually happening. The ocean isn't just sitting on loose beach sand. Beneath that sand, there's layers, and the deeper you go, the more those layers change everything. See, when water tries to drain through sand, it needs somewhere to go. It needs empty space between the grains. And near the surface, sure, there's plenty of space. But go down 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet, and something incredible happens. The weight of everything above starts crushing those sand grains together, tighter and tighter, until there's barely any space left. Researchers measuring this found that sand at depth can be packed so densely that water moves through it at less than 1 inch per day. 1 inch per day. At that rate, it would take centuries for water to drain just a few feet. But wait, because that's not even the full story. Now here's where it gets interesting. Underneath all that sand, there's something even more stubborn. Bedrock. Solid rock that water simply cannot pass through. Granite, basalt, compressed sedimentary layers that have been squeezed by the Earth's pressure for millions of years. This bedrock acts like a floor, an impenetrable barrier. And it's not just in a few places, it's everywhere beneath the ocean floor. Marine geologists mapping the ocean floor in 2019 discovered that this bedrock layer sits, on average, only about 300 to 1,000 feet below the seabed, depending on location. That's nothing compared to the ocean's depth of over 12,000 feet in places. So even if water could somehow drain through all that compressed sand, it hits a wall, literally. But let me ask you something. What about all that water that does seep down? Where does it go? Because some water definitely moves through those upper layers of sand. You've seen it yourself. Dig a hole at the beach and water fills it up. So there must be water moving around down there, right? You're absolutely right. And this is where it gets wild. That water doesn't disappear. It becomes groundwater. It fills up every tiny space it can find in the sand and rock layers. And here's the thing. Those spaces get completely saturated, full, like a soaked sponge that can't absorb another drop. Once the sand is fully saturated, water stops draining. It has nowhere left to go. The system reaches equilibrium. A 2017 study of coastal aquifers showed that the water table, the level where sand becomes fully saturated, often sits just feet below the ocean floor. Sometimes it's even at the same level as the sea itself. When that happens, the ocean isn't draining at all. It's just sitting on top of sand that's already holding all the water it possibly can. Now here's the part no one talks about. The ocean is also constantly pushing back, pressure. The weight of all that seawater creates enormous pressure on everything beneath it. At just 30 feet deep, water pressure is double what it is at the surface. At 300 feet, it's 10 times greater. This pressure doesn't just sit there doing nothing. It actively pushes down on the sand and bedrock, compressing everything even more tightly. It's like putting a heavy weight on a sponge that's already full. Nothing more is getting in or out. And that pressure does something else brilliant. It pushes groundwater back. That's right, the ocean isn't just sitting passively. In coastal areas, fresh groundwater flowing from inland, aquifers actually meet saltwater from the ocean underground. They create what scientists call a saltwater wedge. The denser, saltier ocean water pushes inland underground, while fresh water pushes back. They reach a balance. Neither side wins. Neither side drains away. So here's the beautiful truth. The ocean doesn't drain through the sand because the Earth designed a perfect trap. Compressed sand slows the water to a crawl. Bedrock stops it completely. Saturation fills every gap. The ocean isn't sitting on sand. It's sitting on a foundation that's been holding water for millions of years. And it's not going anywhere.